Fearsome MMA on here once again with the great Jim West. He works with a talented gold mine over there at MMA Gold. Jim, how's it going today?
Good. Let's see if we can make this happen this time. Power went out yesterday, so kind of screwed things up, but doing good, man. It's Friday. I've got some local fights tomorrow, which is good in California. We haven't seen those in about 2 years. So we have 5 people fighting tomorrow that are all they're the newest of the new people that we have on our team, all making debuts. So should be a good, interesting experience for all of them tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Who's all fighting next?
As far as those fights?
Mm-hmm.
So they're all amateurs, all making their amateur debuts. So no one's going to know them yet, but it's a kid named Gabe Guzman, Donnie Todd, Dimitriano Banda from the Dominican Republic, Emma Honkapiller, and Nathan Hawker are all fighting tomorrow night for a new promotion in California called Firehouse Promotions.
Ooh, nice. And I got to ask you, how did sparring go yesterday?
That was good. It was all the 145s and under. So it was all the littler humans running around. So it was good. It's a good time. A lot of people getting ready for fights. You know, Aspen's getting ready. Jamal Emerson's getting ready. So they all look good.
Mm-hmm. And for sure. Then, Max Griffin, I want to touch up on him. He had a great last fight against Carlos Condit. Do you think he deserves a top 10 welterweight right now?
I think he deserves a top 15 for sure. That's kind of been the goal. That Max and I have talked about often was, that was our kind of our next step, is to try to crack that top 15. And I think we're right there on the edge. I think Max is ranked 24 or something around there. In the latest Endeavor Tapology UFC rankings, the ones that really kind of matter. So, yeah, he's right there. I think a top 15 would be, he's well deserving of that.
Mm-hmm. And it's gearing up for Aspen Ladd's training camp again. Obviously you guys are preparing for Macy Chiasson. You guys have been preparing for her for the last couple of months. So as this fight camp is extended, do you guys look to add more weapons to the arsenal, or do you guys just keep sharpening the sword? That is the game plan.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of already know, what our approach is. So I was really just letting her kind of relax for about 2 weeks, and then just staying sharp, and then we'll peak one more time. So I'm kind of trying to space everything out just the right time and the right timing, so we peak kind of at the right time. Again, she's light already because she didn't, there was only about a 10-day gap in between when she was supposed to fight from the time that she started dieting again and stuff. So, it's just kind of stay sharp, stay healthy, and get ready to dominate on October 2nd. Mm-hmm.
And what does the fight camp usually look like? I imagine it's kind of like Rocky IV, where you guys are always hiking up in the mountains. But what does the average training camp look like for Aspen?
Well, with Aspen specifically, there is no such thing as a fight camp. Aspen truly trains, 365 days out of the year. Which is why you always see an evolution in Aspen. A lot of these athletes make such a bad mistake of this camp mentality. Well, in an 8-week period, you're not ever going to get better. You're always in that 8-week period just trying to get yourself ready. And that's not how you improve, from fight to fight. The hiking part, that's part of Aspen's life. She's been doing that since she was 8 years old. She went on her first, I think, 15-mile hike with her grandfather, who was a big influence in her when she was 8, a 15-mile hike. And Aspen lives at elevation. She's always lived at elevation. So Aspen hikes anywhere from 10 to 15 miles of running and hiking at 7,000 to 8,000 feet every single day before she even comes down to practice. When I say without bias, Aspen is the most conditioned athlete in the UFC, you can't even argue it. Aspen can literally fight you for 2 hours straight without even batting an eye at 100% capacity. That's the truth. We try to make Aspen tired, and she just laughs at us. She does not get tired. So, she really does live that kind of lifestyle where, she doesn't believe in that camp. And like I said, that's why you see some evolution in her each time. In between fights, we're always adding a couple of little tools to the toolbox, and she utilizes those when we move into the next fight. And this is the same thing she'll do when she fights Macy on October 2nd.
Mm-hmm. And with Aspen having the best cardio in the UFC, Who else do you see in the UFC that might have the cardio for days like she has, like Nate Diaz? Is there any other names that you look to specifically?
No, honestly, I don't think anyone conditioning wise actually even compares to that level of conditioning. I mean, truly, we're talking about physiologically the muscle endurance and the lung endurance. I don't know that anyone could actually push that hard for that long without even, batting an eye. So it's, yeah, no. Speaking of the devil, look who popped in. Speaking of the devil. She's getting ready to hit pads with her boxing coach, Mike. She peeked her head in.
Yeah, with this upcoming fight, Macy Chiasson, she's the Ultimate Fighter champion. What do you guys see when you look at her?
Macy's she's super tough. I mean, you're talking about anyone in the top 10 in the UFC. You're talking about the best in the world, right? So she presents challenges like every other fighter does. The one thing that Macy does do well is she's willing to engage everywhere, right? Yeah, she might be a striker and she's long and she likes to use those techniques, but when shit hits the fan and becomes a clinch or on the mat or anything, she's willing to engage in all those aspects, which presents challenges and also makes for a fun fight. She's not someone who's just going to run around all day. At least I haven't seen that. And if she does, she does. But tendency wise, she's always been, she's always very willing to engage in aspects, which tells me she's comfortable in all the aspects of MMA. So, she presents challenges.
Mm-hmm. And I know Nunes versus Peña is up next, in the bantamweight division. But do you think a win over Macy could get her that title shot?
Sure, anything's possible. I mean, never really thought that way. Aspen's whole career, and we've always talked about one step at a time. And Macy's the next, most dangerous fighter on the planet, and that's the only thing we see right now. So, we'll see. We'll go and take care of business October 2nd and see what happens after that.
Mm-hmm. And I heard from James Lynch, in your talk of James Lynch, you said that Peña declined the fight with Aspen, and then Miesha did as well. Can you confirm that?
Yeah, 100%. The Aspen and Julianna have been matched twice. Julianna's pulled out twice. One, in fact, the last time we were all at the UFC Performance Institute, ironically, myself and Aspen and some of her teammates, and so was Julianna and her team preparing for the fight. She was hitting pads, et cetera, et cetera. We're talking 3 weeks out. We saw her training. She was eating a cheeseburger. And then 30 minutes later, we got a call by the matchmaker saying that she was pulling out because of an injury. We know it's bullshit. It's twice. Miesha Tate, in quotes, flat out said, I do not want to fight Aspen. I want to fight a lesser opponent. Because we tried to get a matchup with her when we didn't know what was going on with Macy. And those were her words.
Wow, that's crazy. And, with Miesha too, what do you think her game plan is right now? Is it just to get a top 5 opponent, or do you think she's building back up to get to that level, or what do you think her mindset is right now?
Well, according to her words after her last win, she's now ranked number 8. Anyone can get it. Those are her words. Anyone can get it. I'm on my way to go to the title. So whoever's in front of me on my way to get to the title, I got to fight him. Well, it was just presented, and she flat out said, no, I want a lesser opponent. So I don't know what her deal is. But those were her words, not mine.
Mm-hmm. Got it. And then I want to touch up on, Peña showed up at the press conference yesterday asking Dana White where Amanda Nunes is. What do you make of her trying to make Amanda Nunes look scared to fight her?
She's an idiot. You're talking about arguably the greatest female fighter on the planet. Well, she is right now, and will go down in the record books. And besides the fact, everyone knows she's got COVID.
And then, just look, I want to touch up on your career as a coach too. If you were never into MMA, if you were never a coach, what job or career would you pursue?
Well, ironically enough, I was actually a deputy for about 11 years. I went to college for that. I actually have a bachelor's degree in criminal justice, and I have a master's degree in business. I was a college professor. I taught law, business, and I was a deputy for about 10 years. So That's what I went to school for. I just happened to get into jiu-jitsu when I started law enforcement back in 2000.
Is there anything that you want to say to the fans out there watching?
No, man. Thanks for all the support. For those that support MMA Gold Fighters. Thanks, Chris, for letting me on the show. It was a great show, great interview. Maybe we'll have to get you some pictures, set up your office a little better.
Oh yeah, for sure. I would definitely love some signed pictures in MMA Gold too. I would love to rep that.
Yeah, absolutely, brother.
Mm-hmm. And if I'm ever in California, I'll definitely stop by over there.
Yeah, absolutely. Welcome anytime.